Hey, what's up? This is Madison here. Welcome to my world. We're in Vancouver, Canada. It's a beautiful suspension bridge. Whenever I get the opportunity, I try to get out, enjoy a little nature, a little Kingsman umbrella, a little bit of coffee. So today, I want to talk about this idea of body language. Now, body language is something that's been not talked about in the community a lot, especially over the last few years, but it goes back to just primal communications. What's more important is what you do, what you show, way more than the words of what you say. Because you can imagine, you sometimes mean well, you mean to say a lot of good things, but what happens? You can't, and people misinterpret you. But if you have correct body language, your message and idea would get to the person and be received and understood by the person that you're trying to talk to far before your words can even get there. So imagine how powerful it is. It is the secret communication of human beings in life. Think of how many times you walked up to somebody and you meant to say something well, maybe give them a compliment or tell a joke. Before we even got over there, they gave you one of these faces, ugh, and they were just disgusted. They didn't even speak yet. And no matter what you said, it seemed like they had already made up their mind about you. That's because it's a first impression. And a first impression is so important. Once you make it, you can't get it back at all. So think about that. Think of how many times that people might perceive you as a player when you're in a work environment and you just meant well, but there's some reason they thought of you that way. And it really hurts your career, your profession, maybe your promotion. Think of how many times you meant to be seen as a man to woman, a sexual guy in the club, or there's a girl out at a cafe or down the street you're talking to, and for some reason she just sees you as a nice friend. And that's the first impression is so strong you can't escape it a lot of the times. So what I'm going to show you in this video, the promise I'm going to give you here, is that we're going to sidestep all of that, sidestep a lot of the mistakes that you're making in your first impression, and you're going to learn how to hit home and really convey the message that you want. A lot of this comes from my program, Boss, which is the ultimate inner game for character-based pickup. So check that out. Put a link down below.
Big city of dreams.
Body language is just the ability for the girl to know about you through your body. She looks at you, she sees your body, and she gets information about you. That's it. She looks at you, sees your body, information about you. It's a split-second decision that she makes. It's a split-second judgment she makes. Okay? She doesn't know you at all, but she makes that decision. Now, they say that communication, a lot of what we say as people is not verbal. So they say 80% of communication is non-verbal, right? A lot of pickup is emotional. It's not even verbal, it's emotional. You guys see it all the time, right? I told you guys before, when I do an approach, when I'm 100% engaged and I'm not committed, right? Or sorry, 100% engaged but 0% judgment, like I just walk up like that, you can tell my body is very loose and relaxed. And that makes the girl very interested because she looks at me, she says, from the way that Madison controls his body, I can tell what he's feeling on the inside, and I can tell what he's thinking in his mind, right? She can tell when she looks at me what I'm feeling, and she can tell what I'm thinking. So she doesn't really care of whether my body is like this, or I'm like this, or I'm like this, or I'm like this. She doesn't really care what I'm doing. What she cares is that it's like a window so she can see into my mind and she can see into my emotions. She wants to know who I am. Like I said, right? I do character-based pickup. So again, character-based pickup is your character. What you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're focusing on, that's what makes your pickup good. That's what makes your game good. It's not what you're saying. So this is very, very good because actually on boot camp, sometimes we'll do something called the silent opener. You did it last night. Where the silent opener is where you go out and you do approaches for 20 minutes, no words. Okay? No words. I actually got this from Owen. So they'll be like 0 words. So it'll be like this. Right? So I said nothing there, but you can tell a lot about me as a person, even though there was no words. right? But in a split second, she's looking at your body language to understand who you are. And the reason why it's so important, body language and the eyes as well, because she's also looking at your eyes. The reason why it's so important is because it's so hard to fake, right? It's so hard to fake zero judgment. It's so hard to fake having no persona. You have to really let go of it. You have to let go of it for real. Body language isn't only for people to look at you and think you're cool. It's not so people only think you're cool. It's also so you can change how you feel about yourself every single moment of the day. You're always sending signals to your brain, okay? You're always talking to yourself whether you realize it or not. There's a voice in your head. So what does your voice in your head sometimes say? I'm not cool. I don't have enough gel in my hair. I'm not funny enough. I have a crooked tooth. I have skinny arms. I'm fat. Whatever your voice in your head says, okay? But the voice in your head can say negative things, but you can also make the voice in your head say positive things. Just focus on the positive. It gets even easier when your body tells your brain positive things. So when I stand like this, right, automatically there's more pressure on my back. Automatically I'm not breathing full from my lungs. Automatically I'm kind of looking at the floor. And for whatever reason, I just don't feel as positive anymore. Okay, it sends a signal to my brain about how I think about myself. Versus if I'm standing up, my body is erect, my spine is straight up, my center of gravity is on the back of my heels. Look, my shoulders are back. I'm now breathing in deeper. I'm breathing into my stomach naturally, not my chest. I feel a bit different about myself. Look how I'm speaking. Look how I've slowed down. Look how I'm speaking at my own rhythm now. Look how I'm enjoying the words coming out of my mouth. See, it sends a signal to my brain. So the body language isn't just important for the girls or for people at work so they think you are intelligent, smart, funny, confident. It's for you. You program your brain. You talk to yourself about who you should be every moment of the day, every second of the day. On top of that, your body always talks to you. Your body is an amazing tool. It always tells you what's good, what's bad. It always tells you what's going right, what's going wrong. It talks to you all the time, okay? So for example, if you notice sometimes that you're scratching your beard a lot when you're in set, you're nervous, you're overthinking it, right? You have a twitch, you have a tick. Okay, that's your body talking to you. All right, trying to talk to your mind. It's that mind-body connection. If you notice every time you do an approach, you got hands in your pockets, hands in your pockets, hands in your pockets. Okay, my body's talking to me. My body's telling me that, hey, I'm a little nervous. I need to do something with this nervousness. I need to do something with this approach. The boot camp student the other day, he said, I'm nervous. I don't know what to say. What did I say? Walk up and tell her, I'm nervous. I don't know what to say. Because at least that way you would be in harmony with your body, be in harmony with who you actually feel. Walk up and be like, hey, I'm nervous. I don't know what to say. That would be more honest. You guys feel the honesty when I say that? So don't fight your body is what I'm saying. Don't fight your body. Don't try to be against your body. Listen to what your body is telling you when you're in the club. If you're nervous, if it's tense, listen to if you feel tense in your shoulders, your chest, if you feel tense in your neck. It tells you a lot about yourself. You have to listen to your body. High status body language. So high status body language to me is the body language of the alpha males, the body language of all the cool kids. I didn't have it originally. I had to learn it. Like I literally had to study it and watch it. How did I learn this? Very simple. I went to clubs and I watched men. I peeped on them. Just watched them from the corner and licked my lips and watched those men, those sexy men. I watched the guys that were good with girls and I watched how they communicated with other dudes and I watched how they communicated with other girls, okay? And I was like, this is interesting, very, very interesting. And I copied it and I put it into my personality. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start actually probably from the head and work my way down. That's what she said. I'm gonna start from the head. It's good. This joke is funny in all languages. Good, even in German. I'm gonna start from the head and work my way down. Okay. So the first thing I'll talk about is just my face. The high status body language or high status face. Okay. People that are generally good with girls, their faces are very tense. Let's talk about their eyes first of all, okay? Their eyes are ready to be awake. I call it stars in the eyes. People are always looking at your eyes to see what is going on in your internal world. So if I'm judging myself and I'm worried about what people think of me and I'm worried about, is this approach going to go good? My eyes are kind of going to go like this. Do you guys see it? I'm going to try to do it right now. I'm on stage. The guy's looking at me. They paid money to be here. Oh shit, it's kind of creepy actually. Do you guys see that? Do you see how I kind of like retreated into my mind for a second? It was like I was here in the moment with you, then I kind of went, there was like a wall. Do you guys see that? You see it? Yeah. Versus if I think, hey, oh, look at all these cool guys, man. This is really cool. Oh, human beings in front of me. Nice. You guys are having fun. It looks pretty chill. Got the notes, taking notes. Awesome. Huh. Yeah. Right? Do you see the difference in my eyes? It was almost like I call it the stars in my eyes, okay? That's what I call it, the stars in your eyes. The stars in your eyes come purely from what you focus on. Whatever you focus on creates that or takes it away, the stars in your eyes. Cool kids have this. All the cool kids have this. If I showed you a picture of a baby, what does a baby look like? If you ever walk into an elevator and there's a baby on the elevator and the baby just stares at you for about 5 floors or 6 floors like that, and you're like, why is it? You're like, you look at the baby, it's kind of weird, but then you kind of just like, this baby's just staring at me for a long time, and you're like, then you also start to feel good when the baby looks at you, because the baby has no self-baggage. The baby has no story. Like, I've been rejected all my 4 months of life. Nobody's liked me. Right? When I was in high school, like the baby doesn't have this story that's telling itself in its mind. The baby has no baggage. So it makes the eyes pop. It makes the eyes very expressive, okay? So when you walk up to a girl, naturally, the first thing she's looking at is your eyes. That's why I had you guys do the eye contact exercise. The first thing she looks at is your eyes and sees how expressive your eyes are. If your eyes are expressive, then she can connect with you. You're essentially tricking yourself to be a cool kid, one of the cool kids, by what you focus on in that moment. You choose what you focus on in that moment. It makes a huge difference, okay? It's probably the most important thing, if not the most important thing. So when you walk to the girl, to have those stars in your eyes, it's not because, you have the stars in your eyes not because the girl's gonna like you. You have the stars in your eyes because you know you're doing the right thing. You know you're taking action, you're taking the right action, you're taking the next action. You have the stars in your eyes because you feel like you're moving forward on that path. You're making progress. And even if you suck that night, and you will have nights you suck, at least you're learning from those nights. Okay, so that's where you can relax and have that. Now, I'm gonna go on to facial expressions. There's 2 types of facial expressions, okay? There's regular facial expressions and there's micro expressions. Okay? So regular facial expressions and micro facial expressions. What kinds? Regular and micro. Okay, very good. So a regular facial expression is like this, just like this, right? This is like me being a stupid, silly expression. Okay? A micro expression is this. Did you catch that? It's like a little small expression in between the facial expressions. It's strange. So it's like, so it's funny because in facial expressions, the micro expression means more than the actual expression. That make sense? So Julian taught me this thing a long time ago. He called it the LA look, okay? And the LA look, I love doing it. So a regular look like you're impressed by somebody is just this: an up, down, smile. See? Up, smile. The LA look is this. I'll do it again over here. Right? It's the little expression in between that says it all. The LA look is like, I see you, I'm not impressed, but I'm gonna pretend that I am. I see you, I don't like what I see, I'm grossed out, but I'm gonna pretend that I like you. Right? The LA look. Because everybody does that in LA. Like this, they're smiling like this, but they fucking hate your guts. That's LA. Now, facial expressions are so important in your communication. Facial expressions can make it or break it. Like eye contact and face are the most important things, okay? Facial expressions tell a lot. You need to have a dynamic face. A dynamic face. What does that mean when I say dynamic face? Okay, dynamic face means that your face tells a lot about the words you're saying. Does that make sense? Your face says a lot. Sorry, your face says a lot about the words that you're saying. So I can do like this. I can go, hey, or 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 I can go, I don't know, I'm running out of facial expressions. Like, what else can I do? But every time I say it, it means something different because my face, the girl's reading my face again, right? She's reading my face. Women are always looking at the sub-communications. So not looking at what you say, looking at the meaning behind what you say. Not looking at necessarily what you do, but the meaning behind what you do. That's what makes a difference. So, a dynamic face, okay? I showed you silent openers before, right? I showed you like, right? The facial expression, it's almost like, picture like Jim Carrey, but less extreme. So a lot of guys have, depending on the culture you're from, your face might be static, right? If you're from, let's say, maybe a Russian culture or a Middle Eastern culture, the tradition is men are strong. Men don't show emotion. I have guys like that on boot camp. It's called 3 days of learning to smile. I say, smile. They go, I am smiling. And go like, we actually go up to them and go like this. And they're like, oh. But in the boot camp, their face hurts. So it's like, oh. And their smile looks really uncomfortable for the first few days. It's like this. Looks like they have gas, like they're about to shit. It's like, it's so hard for them to smile because they're not used to it. Okay, they're not used to that kind of look on their face yet. It takes practice to get used to it because essentially their mentalities are controlling their face, right? Socially, in my culture, I have to be as tough. That's what their brain says, so it controls their face. But you want to have your face be loose and dynamic. You want to have your face maybe not be like Jim Carrey. We want to have it be dynamic. We want to have expression in your face. You want to be able to talk without using your face. I'll probably have you guys do an exercise where I want you to have a communication about your trip over here, just using your face, right? So imagine I want to tell you how good this coffee was. I'm gonna try. Could be very bad. I've never done this before, but I'll tell you. Okay, just face. Right? I'm like, oh, coffee was interesting. I was tired, and I had some, and I was strong. I was ready to go. Right? It's all face. So, especially in a dark club, this is super fucking important in a dark club. Super important on the dance floor. On the dance floor, she can't even fucking hear you. She can't hear you on the dance floor. And then you go trying to have a conversation. She's like dancing with her friends. I took a pill and a bees. And you're like, hey, so I just want to, I don't really like dancing, but I'm gonna dance next to you anyways, because I don't know what to do. This feels weird, but I don't know what to do next. So blah 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 blah. Oh look, she's leaving. Facial expression. You could have had the same conversation on a dance floor with just facial expression. On a dance floor, you go in, say a couple of words, bounce out. Communicate with facial expression. Look at her in the eyes. Talk a little more. Out. Facial expression. I say like 80% of my dance floor game is facial expressions. Like 80% of it. So get in control of your face. I used to work in photography and fashion a lot. And in fashion and photography, they would say that models have to learn to control their face. Some models would have a really, really ugly face. They had they call it like the weird model learning face, or I don't know what the fuck it's called, but the model's like she's just petrified of the camera. Even when I'm learning to do videos, I have to learn to control my face. Hey, what's up? This is Madison with Real Social Dynamics. I want to thank you so much for joining me in this video, and I welcome you for being here today. It's great that you're here. I have so much I want to share with you, and congratulations for taking the first step. I had to learn that on a camera, because it's weird. A camera's an inanimate object. It gives you like nothing back. But you have to learn that. I have to learn the feeling of my face. I have to learn like my jaw's tight. I have to learn I have to learn this is tight. I have to learn my face is squished up. I had to learn what my nervous expressions were. I had to watch myself in the mirror. I had to learn eyelid control. So even when you're the photographers, when they're taking pictures of models, they say what they want you to do is raise your lower eyelids. This takes practice, by the way. I'm not even very good at it myself, but I'll try it. So the raising of the lower eyelids, it's almost like a sexy look that the models do through the camera. Okay, I'll try to do it here. Wait. It's hard to do with the light in my face. You kind of see it there for a second?
Really sexy.
Thank you. Thank you. But that's a piercing look, right? It's like a piercing, sincere look. Models have to learn that because they have to be able to fake sexy when there's 20 guys watching them on a set. You know? So you can even practice in front of the mirror, to be perfectly honest. Practice in front of the mirror the expressions of your face. Try different expressions. If you don't know what those expressions are, it's a great website that Jeffy recommended. I can't remember what it's called. It's like expressions of the eyes and face. It has like 36 expressions, and you can go look at what those expressions mean to get more familiar with it. Also, knowing your own facial expressions will help you have empathy with what other people are feeling. So you could say, this girl's happy, this girl's sad, this girl's nervous. You'll know when the girl's like, she's about to go to the bathroom. You know when she's like, she's about to tell her friend they have to move away. Right? You'll be able to see it happen because you'll be familiar with faces, okay? Next thing, let's talk about shoulders, okay? Shoulders are very, very basic. Shoulders kind of just fall into whatever else you're doing. Shoulders should always kind of be down. Try to avoid them being slouched up. Any kind of tension here, just kind of try to have them down very often. Now, shoulders naturally attached to arms. Where should your arms be? Well, I used to have this buddy of mine named Alex, and he got this from somewhere. I don't know where he got it from, but he kind of was always like the spread eagle, you know? I call it the spread eagle. He'd walk up to a girl and just kind of talk like this and stand like this. And this worked for a while until it became a stick, until it became like a thing he always did, you know, a shtick. He just would always walk up to the girl and do this. That's right. Oh, where are you from? Oh, okay. And it was kind of cool at first for the buyer-seller dynamic, but then kind of became a thing. But you can always put your hands on your hips if you don't know what to do with them. I would avoid hands in your pockets. Sometimes on boot camp, we'll tell the student to go to the bathroom, get toilet paper, and shove his pockets full of toilet paper so he cannot put his hands in his pockets anymore. Hands on the hips are really cool. A lot of guys do this. Don't do this nervousness thing. Just avoid it completely with your hands or your arms. You can do this if you feel comfortable with it. Just a little, if you're just like asking questions and talking. Some guys will do this, right? That's fine. Don't play with your hair too much. If you are going to play with your hair, just kind of like, you can do like the Greg O'Gallagher, which is kind of just like very nonchalant. You can do the little hairbrush, right? Very chill. I think the arms should be used for expressiveness. You want to try to avoid keeping them down as much as possible. You want to express yourself with your arms as much as possible. The reason for that is typically, if you are a comfortable person, you will use your body to take up space. That's all it means, right? Because the girl's looking at your subcommunication. He's confident, so he uses his body to take up space. He's confident, so he uses his voice to take up space. He's confident, so he takes up space. What does that mean? It means that in the future, if something happens, he's going to be able to protect me. If a fight breaks out, he's going to be able to step up and handle it. He's going to be able to address all concerns I might have. It's a good sign of who you are as a person when you're taking up space. So don't be afraid to take up some space with your hands, your arms, etc. I won't get into physical game, like hand holding and all that kind of stuff, because I think there's a lot of that I have in Boss already. So I won't get too much into that. Now, let's talk about fingers even. Fingers are very interesting to me. I think you can tell a lot about a person by the way they use their fingers. They use their fingers to make a point, right? So you even look at Donald Trump. He's always kind of talking like this, right? Like this. Look at a politician like Bill Clinton. Always talking like this. The fist, he's making a point, right? Myself, I think I do a lot of this sometimes. I think I do a lot of this sometimes when I'm trying to make a point. What else do I do a lot? I have no idea what I do a lot. But I do a lot of hand motions, right? Hand gestures, because you tell a lot about somebody from their hands, from what they do, right? If they're nervous, they're going to use no expression in their hands at all. They're just kind of like this, or like this kind of. But the more free you are with your hands, your fingers, and your expressiveness of your hands, the more you animate the story you're telling, the more she's going to say, this is a guy who's at one with himself, is at peace with himself, he's kind of comfortable. Let's talk about sitting. Talk about sitting, we'll talk about standing for a bit. Okay. So actually, before I do that, I want to talk about handshakes. Sorry, handshakes. So there's a lot of different ways to shake hands. Can I get a volunteer? This will be you. Okay, thanks. Round of applause. Okay, I'm going to have you on this side because I'm right-handed. All right. So let's talk about the handshakes. This is great for girls. This is also in business meetings, etc. Okay. So the handshake. Handshake is very, very important. Typically, I find when I shake a girl's hand, right, and pretend he's the girl, and she wants to go on top, I usually find the girl's very aggressive. She's usually a little bit dominating, or she's like assertive, a little over-assertive. Like, I work in an office full of men. I usually ask that. Do you work in an office full of men? Are you a lawyer? Do you work for the government? Because she's trying to like get that superior position, right? If I shake a girl's hand and her hand goes on the top, it's usually like, hey, equal, meet in the middle. It's okay. You don't have to be strong all the time, right? It's like that. Also, let's say you're meeting somebody, there's a couple ways to shake their hand. So you don't want to go in for like the power grip and dominating. It's not about dominating. It's about being a little bit firm and just kind of making the eye connection. That's more important than winning the handshake. It's not a competition. There's a couple of handshakes you can do. There's 2 sincere handshakes, okay? I'll do this for a girl too. 2 sincere handshakes. The first sincere handshake is kind of like the handshake cup. Okay, 2 hands, just very gently holding the other one. Or it's the back of the elbow, which is a little bit personal. You might not want to do it for a business situation, okay? Back of the elbow. Hey, nice to meet you. See that? These are ways to kind of like connect more, so the handshake is not just a handshake. The handshake is a statement of your personality. So the person says, oh, this is an interesting handshake. This person wants to meet me. A lot of times you meet a girl in the club, like you meet her or her friends. This is Sarah, this is Jessica, this is Jamie. Oh, hey, 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 hey. Anyways, we're taking her to the bathroom. They just leave, right? We're taking her to the bathroom. This is a way of presenting a little bit more personality in the handshake. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, let's talk about sitting now. So sitting, I think sitting is one of the most interesting things ever, because the way you sit tells a lot about your personality, okay? The way you sit just basically means how comfortable you are with yourself. So typically, the first level of sitting, if you just kind of sit badly, the first level of sitting is kind of just sitting with your legs like not close, but a little bit further than, I guess, shoulder width, and just feet flat on the floor, okay? That's like the first level of sitting. Now, if you're sitting in a chair, you can sit like this, or if you're kind of leaning over, you can kind of sit like that, right? Typically just very, very chill. Now, I think from a they call it like the hunter-gatherer standpoint, or like evolutionary psychology, they say that it just means this is an alpha male, his balls are exposed, and he's ready for whatever happens. Like, but my balls are exposed, so I'm comfortable. I'm ready to handle whatever happens to my balls. If something attacks my balls, I'm ready to strangle it, cut its throat. This is bait. I'm baiting you. I'm baiting you with my balls, right? I think that's the historical reason there. But yeah, this is kind of like how a guy would generally sit. Now, take it to a next level, right? We're in Europe, of course. The more classy, the more elegant the guy is, he'll tend to typically cross his legs, which is kind of funny because crossing your legs is a feminine gesture. Crossing your legs like this is kind of feminine a little bit, right? Crossing your legs like this is feminine a little bit, or crossing your legs like this is kind of feminine. But for a high status male, it makes no difference. For a high status male, what it communicates is that he is so comfortable in who he is and what he's doing that he can sit however the fuck he wants. So it ultimately depends on how comfortable you are with it. But it signals to the girl that you can sit however the fuck you want, and you have the status to be able to do that. Typically go watch a lot of movies. Watch movies with bankers. Watch movies with CEOs. Watch keynote speeches by CEOs. They usually all sit with their legs crossed. Watch James Bond. James Bond sits like this, like he's a thug. James Bond sits like this. James Bond sits like that, right? It's a very, very small communication, subcommunication, but it basically says, I'm comfortable with myself, you can look at me, you can judge me and think that I'm feminine, but I know I can back it up. I know I got the goods to back it up. I know that I'm comfortable enough to back it up at the end of the day. So that's what this means, okay? So yeah, legs are pretty interesting. I think legs are one of the most telling things when it comes to body language, not just when you're sitting, but also when you're standing. It means a lot. It means a lot about how you feel about yourself. And people are always looking at you and kind of pinging you and looking at, say, how comfortable does this person feel in their own skin when they're sitting down. Now, that's sitting. When I have a girl with me, typically she's sitting beside me, I'll take her hand and put her hand on my knee, kind of just leave it there for a second. Or even when I go to eat at dinner, I'll over-exaggerate it. I got this kind of from Owen. I kind of over-exaggerate it like this. I was completely just like flop to the side. You know, it's because this kind of body language means I just enjoy the conversation more than I look. Right? Any body language that says you enjoy the interaction with the person, with the girl, it means you enjoy this conversation you're having. You care more about the topics and feeling together and relating to them as a human being. Anytime you can do that in your body language, it helps because it says to the other person, he doesn't care about how he looks. He cares more about the feeling of the moment right now. Let's talk about things in the hand. This is very, very old school. Very, very old school. They would say, if you had a cup in your hand or a glass in your hand, you kind of just like, I can't do it right here, but if this was a table and you're like playing with the rim, it's like, it means you're thinking. It means it's seductive. It's like very, very old school. They would say that if you had, I don't know, my phone maybe, right? If you have any kind of object in your hand and you're not kind of just playing with it, kind of just fiddling with it, not in a nervous way, but in a very calm, relaxed way, it shows that you're interested, but you're detached to the conversation that's happening. So you're interested, but you're not over obsessed with what the girl's thinking about, right? Or what she's talking about. You're not too concerned about yourself and how you look, but you still care about what's happening. It's kind of funny. If you watch Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, and Ocean's 13, you see Brad Pitt. He has amazing body language, by the way. Brad Pitt, he's always eating in every scene. You guys ever notice that? He plays a character called Rusty, and every scene he's eating. He's like, even during a business meeting, he's like, oh yeah, he's like spitting food out as he's talking in this important scene because it means that he cares, but yet he's not worried about making an impression. That's kind of like the underlying subcommunication of good body language is you don't care about making an impression, and you care so little that it means that you must be of value. You must be of status, okay? Let's talk about standing. Typically, when you go to a club or a bar area, there's a few ways to stand, right? Imagine this is just like a little pillar or table. It's kind of like the regular way to stand where you play with your body weight. A guy that stands very comfortably is going to play with the idea of his body weight. Very key, very, very, very clutch. Major lesson right there, playing with your body weight. A guy who's not comfortable is just going to stand like this and he can't even feel his body weight. You want to get used to feeling your weight transfer from each foot when you step. Even if you do, there's something called a walking meditation where you do like this and you literally feel the transfer of your weight from your front foot to your back foot. You get comfortable with the idea of feeling your weight. Because when you're nervous, right, when you're anxious, you're like, you're up in your chest, you can't even feel your body weight. You're just like, you can't feel it. But when you're more relaxed, you can feel the shifting, the shifting of your body weight. So it naturally means you're more into your body. You're more relaxed. You're able also to be sensual. You're able to have sex. You're able to get into your body. You know, whenever a guy can't get a hard on, like, I've experienced this maybe like a few times in my life, or I couldn't get a hard on, or I'm with a beautiful, 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 stunning girl, and I can't get hard. What's the reason? I'm saying this might be my only chance. Maybe she doesn't like me. I have to execute this game perfectly, or else I can't get her. She's gonna leave. Maybe she's not that into me. She's gonna realize that I want her, and maybe she doesn't want me. I'm like, I'm so into my head that the blood doesn't circulate to my dick, right? That's what happens when you can't get a hard on. So when you can stand like this, it shows that you're at one with your body, and you're not in your head. You're able to even feel your body weight and be comfortable with your body weight, right? you'll notice when we're giving RSD speeches, a lot of times we'll kind of just like this, we're kind of shifting our body weight back and forth, and we're doing this because we want to get out of our heads and into our bodies to help us be into the moment, get a rhythm going in our presentation. So that's standing. You can also do, like, when I'm at a bar, it's kind of hard to demonstrate here, but when I'm at a bar, typically one of the moves I'll do is I'll meet a girl and I'll drag her to the actual bar where there's drinks. I notice a lot of the high status guys kind of just like lean on the bar like that. They kind of just do this or do this, and they kind of lean on they put their body weight on the bar as well and look at the girl and let's square up. I mean, you can also like lean against the bar. This is the bar here. You lock in, kind of put your hands on her waist or her hands, like finger clasp. Talk to her like this. That works too. Just like that. But I find the, on the bar, leaning in, locking in, having a conversation works a lot better for that kind of a thing. Some guys do the whole lean on the pole, like lean on the pole, lean on the wall. This is okay. It's a little over the top. I wouldn't necessarily do it. It's a little too much, like, look how comfortable I am, kind of a thing, right? Like, it's too excessive. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go so overboard with it. A lot of times when I'm also talking to a girl, I will use my back. I will use my back as a tool. So back in the old school days, they would say, they call it the back turn. So if the camera is the girl, they would say just kind of like do like this or once in a while, like that. Kind of just show you're not interested or you're not so attached to the conversation. I use my back a lot. I use my back in just when I'm waiting. It's like if she's talking to a friend, I might engage the friend for a bit and kind of turn around for a bit and then turn back, because I want her to know that I'm okay with standing in her presence, standing in her bubble, without me always needing her to say something, without me always feeling the need to say something. So it's both, give and take, okay? So those are the basics of high status body language. Welcome back. Again, great content. You guys are gonna enjoy the full thing and the whole program of Boss. Now, if you're thinking about getting Boss, let me tell you something. I'm actually gonna help you out right now. What I'm gonna do is give you a free copy right now just for watching, because you made it to the end of the video. So what I want you to do is go to the RSD Madison Instagram, and every single day for the next 2 days, what I'm gonna do is do a live stream. And anybody who's on that live stream, or anybody who even joins the Instagram in the next 24 to 48 hours, can go in the draw for a winning of a Boss, okay? So you can get that absolutely just for being on Instagram. So follow me right now, RSD Madison on Instagram, and you're gonna get a free copy of Boss if you're the selected winner. Now, the video talks a little bit about body language. It gives you a sneak peek into the fundamentals and the core principles of body language, but there's so much more. I mean, you can get really super advanced at this. I studied it so much. Like, I would go to the club and I'd watch the coolest guy that had all the women around him, and I'd say, how does he move? How does he think? How does he act? How does he behave? And I would implement those behaviors to be my own. And those can be yours. Those can absolutely be yours. It's absolutely learnable. This is a science. This is a teachable skill that I have that I can impart onto you as a learnable skill. All right, so if you want to check out Boss, go ahead to bossbymadison.com right now. Website URL down below. There's tons of great preview videos there. You can even get like 5 to 7 hours of pre-content on those videos just for checking out the website. You don't have to do anything. It's like a free masterclass just for going there. There's also a 30-day money-back guarantee on all of my programs. So I want you to be treated the same way I want a coach to treat me. Absolutely no risk at all. And last but not least, man, there's incredible exercises and missions and experiences that you can actually go out and practice and implement in the field. So amazing program. The reviews are stellar. It's honestly the best program I've ever seen about this in my life, because where else are you gonna learn body language that's applicable to this type of industry, to pickup, to self-development, to social dynamics with people at work, friends, promotions, family, whatever you name it, this will apply to it, okay? So thank you very much for watching. As always, subscribe, keep in touch, and don't be a stranger. It's fucking cold. Cheers. Hey, this is Madison with Real Social Dynamics. I want to thank you so much for joining me here today. Today is a very special day in history indeed, but also a very special day for you, my friend. Let me tell you why. I've been through lots of challenges and tribulations, and I've worked that into victories and successes. And today I unleash to you Boss. Now, Boss is my life course. Everything I wish I had as a young guy developing and growing up. It's essentially a hero's journey in a box for you to get you not satisfied with the boy that you are, and enhance you to the man that you always want to be. Now, Real Social Dynamics, we teach in 75 countries, 165 cities. We taught literally 40 million people online and hundreds of thousands of people face to face, making us the largest deep identity change and personal development dating company in the world. Myself, I've been teaching 3 continents. I've taught thousands of students face to face, and I've taught about 2 million online. Make me very well versed to explain to you exactly what I'm going to share with you today.
Do you want to?
It's the mustache, the mustache. Right. So I find her and I decide to put the fake mustache on her as my fun conversation. Again, I'm not opening, I'm starting it if it's already open. I just put the mustache on her face. The power is yours now.
The power? Like the Force?
The power is yours now. The power is yours. The power, like the Force? Like Star Wars? Look how beautiful she is. How do you compliment the girl for looking so beautiful? You tell her this. Who's my little Hitler? Who's my little Hitler? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. All these like RSD dudes are like, what the fuck? out of all my little Hitlers, you're my favorite. My favorite. My favorite. Out of all my little Hitlers, you, lady, are my favorite. This is what I think of your regime. This is what I think of your regime. So the mustache falls off because it's like shitty glue. It like falls off onto the floor, and I decide to start stomping on the mustache and saying, this is what I think of your regime. Okay? Again, all self-amusement, right? I'm not thinking about getting the girl, I'm just like self-amusement approach. You obviously failed Hitler school, obviously.
I'm glad. I'm proud of that.
You need to step your Hitler game up, bro. Step your Hitler game up. What the fuck is this? Huh?
No, thank you. Why would I ever want to do that?
She sees the extent already of my bad humor, my extreme humor, and she's also going to see the compassionate side of me. She's going to get a full spectrum of my personality from the way I'm communicating. She's going to get a full idea of my bad humor, my compassionate, my loyalty, my ideas about the world. She's going to see all of it. So by the time it's ready to go, she's like, oh yeah, let's go. What? Come.
Okay.
By the way, these girls aren't drunk if you notice, right? I also want to point that out. These girls are just like stone sober. This is me pulling girls that are sober, not drunk girls that are like, because a drunk girl, drunk girl just spike her emotions, pull. Or a tipsy girl spike emotions at the club, pull. These are sober girls. So it's not just spiking emotions, it's spiking emotions, showing my character, pulling. All right, it's a little bit different. That's why I like this type of game, because that allows me to go in situations where I can get girls and I can date them later on, where I pick up the phone and they're happy to hear me. You ever like get a number, you pick up the phone, you call her, you text her, and the girl's like, hesitant, or she doesn't really want to answer you. These girls are happy to hear me when I call because they've gotten to know me. They feel like they've known me. They've experienced what Madison is all about. They've experienced what type of guy Madison is. You know, you're in heels? And you always knock him over. You're the worst person ever. You're totally cheating as well. You're totally cheating as well. You have heels on.
Are you trying to?
You're like 5'2".
I am 5'2". That was a good guess. That was a very good guess. What else can you get?
Like, what else can I do? I can do a lot of things.
Very appropriate.
So even though I'm telling jokes here, right, about Hitler, about chickpeas, or whatever, I'm still man to woman, right? Like, man to woman isn't something you always need to say. You don't be like, yeah, you know, I totally put a little angel in your ultrasound. I do that sometimes, but even as I'm telling the jokes, I'm pulling her in, lifting her up. What do? I do a lot of things. Hug it out. Okay. Hug it out. You protect me, would you?
Yeah, I'll protect you. Don't worry, I got you.
My guardian angel. Got it.
Yeah.
What's the name? What is the name? Do we want to do names? I don't know. Do we want to keep it mysterious?
Let's keep it mysterious.
Yeah. That way, you can't find me for child support.
Oh, I love that. So you just fuck me and then just come to me and get me pregnant? And then go to
It's a modern 20th century romance, like the Tinder romance, where like, you know, the guy At least, listen, all those guys that you know, they want to be your boyfriend so badly. I would not even get you a wet rag after. I would even get you a glass of water after. Hello, bro! Tonality, my vibe, the way I'm sharing that energy with her. Okay, I'm emotional with her. It's that. That's how she can tell it's man to woman. Okay, and I'm pulling very close, proximity, a lot of great eye contact. My voice goes down a lot, breaking rapport. So I'm not really worried about the man to woman communication. It's taken care of when I do the right things. What?
You're inappropriate.
I'm just me. I'm just a regular guy.
So you're not actually from Chicago if you're from the beach.
Sorry, what?
You're actually from Chicago?
I'm going there. I'm going there for work. I'm going to stay there.
You're not from there.
No, I've been there a bunch of times. I've been there a bunch of times.
Where are you from?
I was there for the NFL draft. I'm from Canada.
You're Canadian.
Canadian.
Interesting.
Like no lies, bro.
I've been there once.
Also want to point out the boring conversation, how I have it. Listen to my voice. I'm Canadian. Been there once. No lies, bro. We're talking about cities. You know, it's not that cool. Like imagine you ask girls like, oh, where are you from? Oh, like I'm from by Harvard. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. You want to go home with me? No? That's cool. Right? It's like, oh, where are you from? Boston. Oh, no way. Oh, that's crazy, bro. Yeah. It's like the whole thing is very animated. I have very boring conversation, animated.
You're speaking Canadian now, eh? You know the alphabet. I don't know. Does that come after B? It was nice meeting you. Are you going to go all the way to G?
Yeah? G. H. I. J.
Does this ever work for you? So that's a yes?
Any good RSC instructor or person that's interesting to listen to, they can tell something in a very animated voice. There's melody in my voice. There's tone in my voice. There is rhythm in my voice. It's loud and it's soft. I play with my voice a little bit so I can make boring conversation interesting. Interesting. It's not even what I'm saying, it's how I'm saying it. The word interesting. A girl tells you something, you go, oh, interesting. You can go, interesting. You can go, huh. That's it's interesting, right? It's one word, but it's the way you play with the words and the volumes and the rhythms and the tones that make anything you say sound cool. I actually have a video about that online. It's one of my best videos, highly underrated. It says how to make everything you say sound cool. So I'm not really worried about the content. I'm worried about the performance, how it's delivered, the personality behind the content, okay? Like I know right here, like even as I'm showing you guys this video, I know that I have content. I got sick ass content to show you guys. But what I'm concerned about is my personality reaching you guys. My personality, my sharing that personality with you. Today is a very critical moment of your life. There's times in your life where right now you are frustrated. You're afraid. You're not really sure why. You probably stay up at night in bed, worrying, stressed out, anxiety. You feel that you're not living up to your potential. When you remember yourself as a child, you were filled with happiness and joy, ambition that you can be anything you wanted to be and have anything you wanted to have. It was your birthright, but somewhere along the line, you lost it. What happened? Now, you don't have the girl that you want. You're not completely satisfied in your career. You don't have the success and relationships with your friends and social circle. Somehow, you've lost your way. The crazy thing is this fear that you have, this hum in the background of your life, it's there and it's eating you up piece by piece. And it's so crazy because you might not even realize it was there until I mentioned it just now. And that's why I had to create Boss for you. I did this for you because I don't want you to have that anymore the same way I experienced it and it tortured me for so long. Boss is a program that's going to allow you to step face to face with that fear so you can look at it in the eye like a man and handle it. It's also going to allow you to never feel alone again because you're not alone. I'm here with you. And I'm going to help you through this, guiding you, mentoring you, encouraging you, and teaching you all the lessons I wish somebody had taught me. Boss is also going to allow you to step into your power. We're going to stop with the boy that you're settling as, and we're going to encourage you to be the man that you're meant to be and step into your birthright as a man and your kingdom as a human being. You want to go for a walk around here?
Yeah, let's go for a walk.
Okay, let's go for a walk. Explore the area. A lot of guys say, I have LMR. LMR is just a symptom. It's a symptom. The root cause is you didn't floss. The root cause is you didn't run good game. The root cause is you didn't show all aspects of your personality, your character. So when it's time to go, the girl isn't ready. The girl isn't ready to go with you. My pull here is, want to go for a walk? Yeah. End the conversation. That's it.
Water?
I got it in my pocket. Thanks. I like.
Are we going to the actual water?
Yeah, the actual water. There's like so many people at the ocean here. It's crazy. You want to go to Lighthouse? Lighthouse. Boathouse, whatever the fuck that is.
You think you can break it?
I think I can. I think I can do anything I put my mind to.
Is he your motivational speaker?
Yeah. Maybe. You're sexy as fuck. I wanted you the first second I saw you. Clearly I said that.
You did say that.
Boss is this, the expression of inner game. You have inner game, but it's not where you want it to be yet. Why is inner game so important? Well, once you have great inner game and you are able to express it, all of your outer game and technique is taken care of. When you have the right emotional answer to every single situation, you respond accurately to that situation, effortlessly and in timing. Boss is going to allow you to understand that awareness impacts yourself, your advancement as a person, and your relationships with others. We're also going to talk about infield. I'm going to have complete breakdowns from open all the way to the close. I'm going to give you a worldwide golden ticket to my hot seat transformational experience, which has rave reviews, and I have guys sometimes crying tears of joy because they're so happy about that program. I'm also going to give you 20 hours of content and extra bonus infield, breaking down every single thing I do in a pickup from start to finish, so it's easily repeatable and relatable. On top of that, I'm going to give you my sticking point encyclopedia. So if you're a newbie, you have sticking points. If you're advanced, you have sticking points. Maybe a little bit less. But the sticking point encyclopedia is going to never make you wonder how to solve the sticking point you have again. All of this content is ready and available to you immediately. If you're a beginner, I want you to understand that Boss absolutely is for you. I made it with you in mind. As a young guy, I didn't have the rite of passage, so I want to give you that rite of passage from boyhood to manhood. I also want to lay down an incredible foundation for you so you can build upon it, build your superstructure of success. Most importantly, I'm giving you a puzzle outline. So every single piece of information and knowledge that you have on your journey makes sense in the big picture. If you are intermediate, you have your wheels spinning, right? You're in intermediate purgatory, as we call it, and you're frustrated as fuck. It pisses you off because some nights you're consistent, some nights you're the dawn, and other nights you are the chump. So let me tell you, we're gonna work on your consistency. We're also gonna tap into your primal instincts and figure out what it is to be a man so you respond automatically and effortlessly every single time. Now, if you're advanced, you're already probably getting a few girls. That's amazing, that's commendable, but you're not completely satisfied. We wanna take that to the next level so you get the quality woman that you want. Girls that you wanna post photos of or send home to mom. So what do you do in life and shit? What do you do for life?
For life, I study pre-med biology.
Okay, that's decent. And so at least you're not an artist in California or an actor. Are you an actor?
I'm not an actor.
Good, good.
Are you?
Of course not, no. Of course not, no. No, I do public speaking.
Oh, really? For what? What do you?
Like motivational speaking.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I teach guys who are little short Asian guys how to talk to cute blonde girls.
Really? I was a debater and I did mock trials.
A debater?
Yeah.
Mock trials, those are pretty fun. Those are pretty fun. Okay, so step your game up because you got a car outside waiting for you.
Yeah.
So you gotta act fast.
Yeah, I got. Oh, my dad just called.
Be like, hi dad, I met my future ex-winter boyfriend. It was pretty cool.
Give me your because I'm on 1%.
Okay, you trying to number close me? That's happening now?
Yes.
Okay, Madison, Madison. You have to call it because I don't pick up numbers I don't recognize. And, I'll talk to you later, okay?
Yeah.
I want to reignite your ambition. I want to spark your creativity. I want to put that energy and belief back into yourself so you can step up to those dreams and now fucking crush it, all right? Think of this, all the limiting patterns you have. Right now, we're gonna smash through them like a sledgehammer swung by the Incredible Hulk. Boss is designed to give you the primal instincts that you always had as a man that have been suppressed. Unleash your emotional intelligence, you have supreme awareness and IQ, not just for yourself, but for others. I also want to take your fashion intelligence to a next level so women are automatically attracted to you. You have that amazing expression. I want to install honor in you so you connect with your ancestors and the men of the past and claim your birthright as a human being. Then I want to unshackle you from the chains of social conditioning that are holding you back and allowing you to not break free of the jail of your mind. I want you to run free in freedom. Also, you're gonna have that lifestyle that you finally always wanted and dreamed of. The ones you saw in the magazines, the ones you envied, the ones that the cool kids had. That's gonna be yours with rich, powerful, successful, elite, and gorgeous quality women on the inside and the outside. Imagine your relationships expanding to all that they could be, all that they should be, and all you ever wanted. Not only do we add man the fuck up missions so you can exercise everything that you're learning in Boss, but I also want to add something special and include unique experiences. These are like longer field missions that are designed to stretch you emotionally and your comfort zone and really deep dive, install all the new lessons you've learned in Boss on a cellular level to transform your identity and who you are. So Boss is for you if you grew up a mama's boy, if you grew up shy or introverted or just felt not deserving, if you're passionate about making a change in your life, you have a lot of anxiety and fear and sadness and not worthiness, this is the adventure and the quest for you. Boss is not for you if you're content. If you're just content, if you wake up every morning and you're content. It's not for you if you're the type of person that wants to look back at your life at 80 years old and say, hey, I'm okay with the option of not taking action. I don't regret it at all. The real question is, do they taste like seeds?
Yes, obviously.
Oh, you're crazy. Don't you know I'm trying to fit in with all these cool white people?
Yeah, you're fitting in great.
I'm what?
You're doing great.
Thank you. This is for you. If you want to reclaim your power as a man that you somehow lost. This is for you if you're that guy that when you look in the mirror in the morning and you look back at your own sad, neutered eyes, you feel that something is wrong. This is for you if you want to step into your birthright and have that gorgeous woman, have that career, have the relationships, and have that success. You literally have a choice. There's a road coming up, and there's the fork in the middle of that road. You can either go back to what you've always done, what you've always known, what you've always been disappointed with, or you can make a decision to step into the unknown. I know it's going to be a little scary because foreign, but the end result is worth it, and your future self is going to thank you. Imagine yourself 1 week from now waking up revigorated, vitalized, and just fresh, tingling with that male energy. Imagine yourself in a month from now, the girl of your dreams, calling you back instead of you calling her. Imagine yourself with that career advancement you always wanted, that success and doubling, maybe even tripling your income. Imagine yourself with new friends, entrepreneurs, successful people, and you're bringing your old friends up with you to enjoy it, completely polishing it off and finishing that lifestyle that we always dreamed of.
You know what? It was very special meeting you 5 minutes ago.
Hey.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie, it was quite the experience, but you know,
I'm sorry, don't come between us. This is really special what we have going.
I get
know
it.
you have a really big night ahead of you.
Are you talking to him or me?
You, but like me and him have something going on right now.
Love it.
Don't cheat on me, Kay?
This is my roommate, and I feel like we would be best friends.
all three of us, we would all become one best friend.
One happy family.
One organism.
I'm not kidding.
Why? Because of what I do?
And just how he is
a light, shine a little light on her.
Is anyone fucking normal here? Can
Okay.
someone take me home?
I will get in the cab with you guys.
Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah, let's do that. Right now, you have a decision to make. That decision is very simple. You can go on feeling those anxieties, those pressures, those insecurities that you feel at the moment. Or you can step into advancement, step into the future, and think about reaching for the possibilities of what you want, what you can have, and what's waiting for you. Now, it's so close. It's so close you can taste it. You can almost smell it. But if you don't take action, that won't happen. This is not about me. This is a story of you, the story of your life. I made Boss for you, and your success is my success. I have no success unless you have success. So what I want you to do, if you haven't already, is click the link down below. Do it right now. Take action, speed of implementation. Click that link down below, all right? And I wanna see you at the winner's circle. I wanna see you at the top. I have a dream that a nation of bosses will rise up. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all boys can be equal as men. I have a dream that girls will not judge you by your outer game, but by the content of your character. Let freedom ring so you step up to all that you're entitled to be. Let freedom ring so you can step into your possibilities of future. Most importantly, let freedom ring so you can step into your birthright as the fucking man.